Now, with over 3.5 million people in the UK affected by fertility issues, last year on this show, Dr Larisa set out to help 3 couples struggling to conceive.
And after sticking to her conception plan, one couple became a This Morning success story.
When I first met Kathryn and Dan back in March, they'd already been informed by their GP that their chances of falling pregnant were greatly reduced.
We've been trying for about 18 months to 2 years. My ovaries had a lot of cysts on them, and they diagnosed me with polycystic ovary syndrome.
I wanted to help and began making just a few lifestyle changes that could have a positive impact on their chances of conception. From improving their diet to introducing all natural products into their home. But have these changes actually made a difference?
I want to be a mum now. I'm ready to be mum.
We've got some big news, haven't we?
Yes.
Tell everyone.
We are pregnant.
Kathryn and Dan have trusted us with the reveal of whether or not they are having a boy or a girl.
We wish you luck.
As you have a
Boy on the way.
Congratulations!
And new parents, Kathryn and Dan, and their newborn baby, Freddie. Join us now alongside Dr Larisa. Welcome to all of you.
Thank you so much.
He is gorgeous.
You say you just can't keep your eyes off him.
No, I know. It is really hard, actually. I should sleep some days, but I don't. I just stare at him and make sure he's still breathing.
Well, you know, this baby was a long time coming. I mean, you wanted so much to have a child, and you'd already been through 2 years of trying, as we just said, with nothing happening, and you had your health issues as well. Larisa put you on this plan. What part of that plan, what do you think did it? What do you think made the biggest difference?
I just think going back natural, I think, and cutting back all...
Getting rid of the toxins.
Yeah, and I am a big believer in that now. I thought, personally, it was a big faff to cut everything out, and it's hard. It sounds like hard work, but it's not. It's so easy now because every store seems to have an eco-friendly variety that you can now choose from, which I think is really good.
It was a healthy diet. There was also, you said that the healing session was very good as well.
Oh, gosh, yeah, for me it was, yeah. I think I walked out of there pretty much a different person, didn't I? Yeah, and that was something quite big.
So, thank goodness, miracle. You have, you're pregnant, you're on here, you announced. Pregnancy is fantastic. And really, the issues only started just prior to the delivery, didn't they?
Yeah, I was, what, 6 centimetres dilated, so doing really well. And I noticed that my hands were bright blue. Luckily, I had an amazing male midwife, actually, called Sean at Poole Hospital, which, you know, you do not realise how brilliant they are. And he did some blood tests straight away and knew that me and Freddie were in danger, so we did catch a sepsis infection. So he was born by emergency C-section.
So you were diagnosed with sepsis pretty quickly, but was Freddie immediately or was it after he was born?
I think you would know better
They
than
suspected that he had it, so as soon as he was born, they took him to give him antibiotics, and he had blood tests straight away. And then obviously it was confirmed.
How was it for you?
Quite terrifying, really, to obviously hear that they both had sepsis, knowing how serious, you know, and fatal it can be to mother and baby. It was...
Well, of all the things that you think, you know, I mean, your mind boggles at the, you know, pregnancy and labour and all those things you think go wrong. Sepsis is not something you hear of often during labour, but it can happen, as we've just seen here. What causes it? Why has that happened?
Yeah, so sadly, though it is rare, but sepsis can, you know, is the leading cause of maternal deaths in the UK, actually. So it's a very, very serious thing. But the good news about it is that we now have developed a lot of things to help us to get on top of it. What sepsis involves is an infection, either through a virus, fungus, but most commonly a bacteria that gets into the bloodstream and then can spread to other organs. And ultimately, in worst-case scenarios, can lead to complete organ shutdown. So what we need to do is diagnose that, you know, a person is affected by the condition, recognise that we need to act really quickly and then implement and institute all the different things we do, which is essentially investigations and blood tests to confirm what specific organism we're dealing with and starting antibiotics within an hour.
But in pregnant mums, why more specifically vulnerable? Is that the breaking of the amniotic fluid, or what is it that makes you vulnerable?
Yes, it can be. Well, first of all, you're a lot more prone to and susceptible to these infections because your natural immunity goes down a little bit when you're pregnant, which is why we advise, so in the season that we're in now, women to have the flu vaccine because they are that more susceptible. So things which can seem quite innocuous, like the flu, which a lot of us will get, can be all the more serious to women who are pregnant. And also, as you say, there are some other things that can make them predisposed to that. So if they've got any underlying medical conditions like diabetes or anemia, for example, and yes, if your waters or amniotic fluid goes, then that means that any bacteria in the vagina can get to the baby and the fluid.
So you have sepsis, you have C-section, he's born, he also is confirmed to having sepsis. You want that moment where you can hold your baby for the first time, but it didn't quite unfold quite like that, did it? Because he was taken away. What happened there?
Yeah, you held. I asked you to hold him. I was really shaking in theatre, so I didn't want to hold Freddie personally anyway. I was able to for those couple of minutes, but I just knew that my body wouldn't be able to. You've held him, and then, yeah, it was just time to go, which was the best thing. I was really open-minded when it came to labour. I think you've got to be these days, and luckily, for that reason, I don't... Yeah, I just knew it was under control.
Thankfully, it was under control. You say that the care of the staff there were unbelievable.
Yeah, they really were.
Enough for you not actually to be, even though it was very serious, that you were in very good hands. So you both get better.
Yeah.
And you go home.
Yeah.
And you have an amazing year planned now.
Yes.
You're going to get married, aren't you?
Yeah, in September.
Wow, I mean, life has changed so much, hasn't it?
So this miracle, Larisa, happened for them.
Yeah.
And if there's someone watching now, you say that there are 5 steps to getting pregnant.
So this is part of the conception plan that we launched, and it was exactly a year ago today.
Was it really?
To the day that we did it. Yeah, we were calculating it back. I mean, you literally couldn't write it.
Wow.
It's been amazing. And I actually got up this morning and I cried because I was this excited about meeting Freddie. I just can't believe it. But, you know, let's take stock of the fact that Kathryn and Dan have done amazingly. I mean, they had so many things against them, 2 years of infertility, but they stuck to these 5 pillars, which were essentially exercise, diet, toxin-free living, changing their sleep pattern around, and also addressing the relationship that not only they had between each other, but most importantly with themselves. And that's what Kathryn talks about with this healing, the effect that the mind can have on your body and all of the stress that starts to consume you when you're desperately trying to get pregnant.
Well, we're going to put all the details on just to sort of re-clarify. But the 5 plans: nutrition, fitness, stress relief, toxin-free living, and avoid the negatives. Those are the big things. And it didn't just work for you.
No, it's true. Jen and Dan tuned into this morning, and after 2 failed attempts at IVF, they followed your conception plan. They welcomed baby Lewis on the 27th of November, and they say it's all down to your advice.
Oh,
so
I love that.
Making babies everywhere, and he's so gorgeous, gorgeous.
He really is.
Yeah.
I heard about this last night. I couldn't believe it. Honestly,
it's
made my
miracle.
time.
Well, you of all people should know it worked.
But it's just when it happens, it's the most amazing thing, and I still get such a buzz from it. You never lose that.
Well, enjoy every moment.
Thank you so much for everything.
Good luck with the wedding.
Yes,
keep in
thank
touch.
you. We will. Thank you.